defended against Furia, who are creeping up behind them right now. Even if I think they get first place, it might just still be teetering on a knife's edge there for EG.
The thing is for EG, no matter like how the Fury 100 Thieves game go, no matter if they come third or fourth, they're guaranteed at least legend status. So there might be a little bit of movement of dropping from second to third, but either way, it's top three getting legend status. And it's sort of a similar kind of storyline for Team 1 as well, with their performance in CS Summit and now being able to get into the playoffs. It means that, again, no matter if they win this game or lose this game, Jay, they will stay in that fifth position, confirming their contender spot. So, yeah, look at the one big thing that I suppose they're competing for today is obviously pride. The ESL Pro Tour points will stay the same between the two sides, and a little bit of money if you come third in comparison to fourth.
I still think there's a little bit of a difference to make up for them in terms of just the RMR stuff, because, you know, like, again, with teams that are creeping up closer and closer, there's an opportunity for Team 1 to really catapult themselves even further up, which is part of like the second half of this kind of thing for Evil Geniuses, because you know, whilst Team 1 might not be quite as high, again, as I mentioned, in that top 5 general region, there is a very different kind of there's a very different kind of story. Like, it's a much closer in terms of the individual points themselves. So Team 1, if they get the points right here, they can actually overtake Team Liquid, and for them, that will push them into challenger position. They won't do this just yet, but again, they'll be pushing even higher up the table for that own respect. And, you know, those extra 2,000 points, right now they're just sitting a little bit under 3,000. Like, it's going to go quite far for a team like Team 1. Another massive upset could be up on the table for them, and considering they're already working off a one upset that's carried them forward this far, like Team...
No, look, they absolutely do. And I don't want to say that this is like the start for Team 1 to really start to put on some work and be able to get some results, but you've got to think for this team, right? Like, Maluki's been on the lineup for like 5 years now, and Team 1 have kind of had a couple of decent results over the years, but this is really one of the first times, I think, in the last like few months where I've looked at Team 1 and think, man, they are actually a really top contender. Like, we mentioned it in MDL, they're currently undefeated, they're 11-0. We saw them get a big upset against Chaos. They were able to deal with the New England Whalers in the quarterfinals relatively easily, and even went toe-to-toe with the 100 Thieves in the semi-final. Yeah, they weren't able to take a map, but they got 12 rounds on their own map, pick a train, and even went into overtime on the second map. So they put up a pretty decent fight there.
Yeah, no, absolutely they did. I mean, Team 1 have just had such a stellar tournament so far overall. Again, we had them pinned as sort of like a borderline team that probably going to get beat out by Chaos. Like, we took a look at them and thought, listen, this is going to be a tough little ask for Team 1. We thought that they were going to drop out in that bottom 3 of Group B. So the fact that they've gone so far as to do this and go as far as they have, you know, again, taking some decent results, you know, going close against the 100 Thieves, and of course, you know, being able to make it into the top 4 in general, like, you know, they shouldn't have been able to do that whatsoever. So for me, I'm looking at this thinking, listen, Team 1, they're in a really good spot. A really good spot overall. Again, they're going to get a mass amount of points. They'll be able to push even further higher. For them, it's all about getting that maximum number to try and overtake Liquid, who their points are secured here, having gone out of the 5th place position. Another team that you would have thought would have been in that top sort of like group, or that top upper echelon of North American Counter-Strike. So for Team 1, again, there's a lot of moving room for them. And if Evil Geniuses are coming into this one only thinking along the lines that you're saying, they're playing pride and they don't need to take this victory today, then Team 1 could be in with a decent chance to upset, especially when you consider the maps kind of play around each other in each of the individual pools. A good veto today could be pretty good for them.
Yeah, look, it certainly can do. I mean, for EG, again, you sort of mentioned the point that they faced off against Furia. They had a pretty tough time dealing with the Brazilian side. We saw them not taking a map over them in the group stage, not taking a map over them in that semi-final spot. Of course, for Evil Geniuses, because they were top in their group, they went straight to the semi-finals rather than playing in the quarters and making their way further. So, look, you've got to think for EG, this could be a chance for them to sort of prove, okay, look, we had a bit of trouble against Furia, but for everyone else, we pretty much dispatched them. You have a look at their round difference, they were like positive 86 or something like that, like a really high amount in the group stage, and you've just got to think that they dispatched pretty much every other team, but it was only the likes of Furia that really gave them a big challenge.
Yeah, and it's going to feel. I mean, again, it's one of those things where you would have mentioned otherwise. Evil Genius probably should be in the grand final, so it wasn't for drawing against Furia. Like they should have drawn it. So it wasn't for drawing against Furia. Like they should have drawn it. They should have had that much going for them in that respect. So again, for Evil Geniuses, bit of an unlucky sort of a result when it comes up to how the groups got seeded and how the playoffs overall went. So for them, let's see how far they can go here and try and get that third place position. We do have our vetoes ready to go for you, so I'll just quickly run you through them. First off, Evil Genius is banning Mirage and Team 1 banning Overpass. Evil Genius is pick Inferno and Team 1 pick Train. I already love the signs of that. Highest win rate and highest play rate maps for each of the respective games. Vertigo banned out and Team 1 banning Nuke as the sixth map in the pool. Dust 2 will be left over. So actually, I think a lot of very even maps that actually pick towards each individual team's strengths. I think we could be on for a 3 map ahead, Blake.
You know what? I'm thinking the same too, actually. I think if any team is going to be at a 2-0, it's going to be EG, but I could certainly see this going to a third map. I think Inferno has been an absolute whitewashing map for the Evil Geniuses across New York. They've won, 4 maps on it, so 64 rounds to 12. They really didn't drop a lot of rounds. Again, I mentioned it in the group stage, the only team that they lost to was Furia. So they had a pretty easy time, I want to say, against the MDL level teams. A lot of them weren't even challengers. So for EG, this is going to be a real big test for them. We'll just have to see what they can bring to the table. But you're absolutely right. When you think of the respected teams, you think of the respected maps, it does look as if we're going to be leaning into a third, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, just to highlight the picks of their own right, EG picking Inferno, one of their best maps in the pool. Not exactly a fantastic map for Team 1. They've got a decent play rate on it. They're second highest in the pool, but a very low win percentage. And you take a look at the other side of the coin where Train was picked. That is their highest played and their highest won map. And you compare that to the Train of the Evil Geniuses side. They've got a 66% win rate, but they've only played it 3 times in the last few months. So it's not like it's one of those situations where it's like you're at wholehearted to just pound their way out of this matchup through sheer firepower, because there is a map basis to work with here for Team 1. And I think that while the second map in particular will be a little bit close, I honestly feel like Dust 2 could be the decider. With that being said, though, with the nature of Dust 2, I feel like EG is still going to be able to take this series 2-1.
Yeah, I'm with you there, and you sometimes, you can pull into the stats. Stats do tell a bit of a picture. Have a look at Breezy. He's had such an insane tournament. He's the highest rated player in IEM New York, and they didn't even win a single map against Furia twice, and he's still the highest rated player. Put up nearly 100 in terms of KD differential, 1.43 rating across all of the group stage and the playoffs. You've got to think, if Breezy can come out and deliver again today, like he's already shown that he can perform at such a high level. If he can bring that again today, that will be the element that EG really need going for them.
Absolutely. We're about to jump into the first map here of Inferno, so I kind of want to ask you very quickly on your own thoughts about this map individually. I've already got my 2-1 prediction in the series. Is that what kind of something you're going to be agreeing with here, Dwight?
I'm going to go 2-1. Yeah, I'm going 2-1 for EG as well. I think it will go to a third map. I'm expecting Train to be close. I'm expecting it to be down to the wire. I'll be disappointed, Jay, if Team 1 won't be able to take a map in this series.
Yeah, I mean, I won't be too disappointed. Again, this is definitely an overperformance for them. I think they should have probably been gone out for the before the playoffs during that group stage position. I was looking at that thinking that was going to be their end goal, and they've superseded that already. They've superseded the top 6 as well. They've gone so far as top 4. So for me, I'm looking at that thinking to myself that's already going to be a good enough performance for Team 1. I don't think I'll say I'll be disappointed per se, but I definitely feel like that they can go a little bit further on here. So let's see how well that will work out for them. The pistol round of Inferno is about to go live. Team 1 did pick the CT start on this one. Pretty expected, all things considered, for this one, Blake. So what are you hoping for Team 1 out of Inferno, at least?
Yeah, look, I'm really hoping to see Maluki getting that brackets top and out of control. I'm expecting Barton to be able to show up. He's done a really great job of entries on that T side, so keep an eye out for Barton going into that second half. But for Team 1, playing with confidence, getting Malms stepping up, the 18-year-old, the youngster on this team who's been able to prove time and time again to be a big clutcher for this side. So certainly some individuals that need to show their prowess.
Here we go. Pistols and USPs out for the CT side. Double flash and smoke for Stanislaw over on the T side. PRT and Maluki backed up with their own utility here for the CT defensive. Large stack into the bracket position on the CT half of things. Team 1 just waiting and baiting. And you can see the odds are most definitely against them here. The GG bet numbers do favor Evil Geniuses, as you would expect at this stage. But now they're playing very passively around this into the boiler control for Breezy. You're going to try swing out and take the common pre-fire angles, but so far nothing being found. CTs are way too far forward for that.
And I'll tell you what, even with Breezy trying to go for that sort of peak fire, Jade, like he still didn't get any contact from the city side, so they don't get any information that anyone's there towards a bracket's control, but they're still reading it very well. Trying to take this banana control, there's only a single player at the B bomb site of Maubs, and you've got to expect for Team 1, as soon as Maubs gets contact, they could just push down mid and try and backstab in through the Ts.
Smoke down from the T side is going to go towards the stairs and not the cross. I'm very surprised at that. They respect Nobs going to take face in from Ethan. Quickly out towards that cross. Easy kill found for the T side line. A 5-on-4 advantage going the way of the Evil Geniuses. Now Team 1 up for the retake. Pesadelo will catch Stanislaw back over towards the banana position. Site plants open for the first box. Gets back in cover behind second now. And here come the CT forces. Ethan playing contact back towards New Box. Teammates coming in. Molotov's going to try and drive them away from New Box itself. As Pesadelo falls, PRT and Barton get themselves 2 quick strikes. Tarek trying to fire away from the coffins. As Cirque falls, it's all left to Tarek. 1 on 2. Got Kevlar in more than Maluki has. Kit nowhere to be seen as well for the CT Caps. Tags up on Barton. Going to tag him extremely low. These things working wonderfully for the T side line. They've got to get to that bomb relatively quickly here for the Team 1 side. Maluki's got the hit bait in. Tarek drops him. Somebody going to take the round of the gun. In fact, he gets his 2K to 100% secure it for the Evil Geniuses.
And for Team 1, it just looks such an awkward exchange. We saw that Kit being a very big round coming out from Tarek, and for Team 1, things were looking pretty good on that retake, but the 1-on-2 clutch comes through in the end.
Early technical pause coming in already for both of these squads. EG only having an opening start. Team 1 already looking to try and take a moment of respite here in the early game.
worst thing that they can do, Jay, in this kind of a situation is allow momentum for EG. That's something that they were able to do time and time again and work with it in the group stage.
Take down the first couple of frags. Mobs will be there to back him up as Tarek falls alongside Ethan. Orp and M4 heavily tagged. The 5v3 has been gained, however, by Team 1. Smokes down towards Moto. Molotovs and flashes coming in. Barkin will be flashed out blind. 2 flashes to his face and a teammate out in the open. Incendiary will force them forward. They will lose 1, but BRT is coming up good. 2 frags, making it 3. Bomb dropped there towards that long entrance, and Team 1 cleaning up the rifles.
Wow, okay, that was an exceptional round for Team 1, and they had intent there. We saw the top Nana smoke coming through from the city side, the AWP of Maluk peeked around a lot of utility exchange towards Banana, and that's where they were able to get the 5 versus 3. They got the information, they started bringing rotations back to that A bomb side, and it's PRT to clean up the pieces towards the end there. What a dominating round from Team 1. Now, with EG having those SMGs, getting that 3-0 start, it's allowed them to be able to get a rebuy into round 5 without any problem whatsoever, but PRT's going very aggressive, and it's the Banana players again that are doing damage.
Mobs and Pessa, central frag. Maluki comes up USP on Tarek. So will get 1 frag, but Stanislav falls in trade. And Maluki takes the AWP battle to win it out for a 2K. And Team 1, with sheer aggression, taking the fight back to the EG side. And that might be a half buy coming in from the T's. If it's a force back, it won't see the full rifles. And yeah, Tech 9 and CZ, Team 1 have shut down EG in the same way they did for the first 3.
Now, Inferno is one of those maps, Jay, where you don't normally see pincer aggression from 2 different angles. That's exactly what we saw from Team 1 in that last round. Pushing down mid with the B players getting aggressive too, and just creating so much chaos, getting some really great opening gunfights. A half buy coming in for EG, and Team 1 have got the opportunity of trying to tie up the scoreline. Now, EG's pushed very, very aggressively, and Pesatello's going to try and walk through the smoke. Damage done, but I tell you what, EG can be happy with this. They've dinked down Malps.
Yeah, quick frags found. A 4-on-4. Damage done, of course, to the CT side. Leaves Evil Geniuses are slightly at the advantage. Also drawing a lot of attention towards this A site. The smoke's going down. The rifle of Mulbs is looking to face forward here towards the long apartments, but not seeing anything from here. This position can be contested by the CT side. EG are not going to press forward of their own accord. They're back over towards Banana position. 2 players to defend against them. 1 AK and 1 M4. Crossfire set, but Malbs should fall down pretty easily here, surely.
There's hardly any utility towards this B bomb site too. It's just flashes between them. The T's have been able to gain a little bit of site control. PRT still trying to frag away. Needs to have to try and bomb plan down. There is certainly a chance, and they've been able to pick up an AKJ. They have done some very decent damage. Bomb plan coming through. This is still very winnable for EG.
3-on-2, now making it 1. Breezy, all that remains. Into this backline past the pillar. We've seen the Incendiaries coming up towards the new box now. There's only one place he can realistically be. 1 frag down, sees the shoulder of the second. That keeps him still misses and gets the quadra to save his team. What a clutch from Breezy.
Oh my goodness, Breezy, a 1 versus 3. And you thought that maybe if Tarek was alive that it was winnable, but once Breezy's in this kind of a position, you think it's all game over from here, but he's able to step up, isolating the 1 versus 1, dealing with CT first, moving over to the Coffin's Peak, and then back to CT to get all 3 kills. That is absolutely massive from Breezy. What a clutch for EG, that's incredible.
Massive, absolutely massive round there for Evil Geniuses, because now that forces the issue back on the CT side, where they had their half buy in the last round. Heavy investments from the CT side, a pistol out the PRT, Maluki on the SMG. M4s on 3. Pesadelo taking face, taking damage alongside one of his teammates as well. PRT will fall towards the mid position. Breezy with that opener. Maluki nades back, smokes on, will try and block off 1 player. Ethan takes out his own teammate, but does get Pesadelo to fall as well. So 2 for 1, all in all, trades favour the Evil Geniuses side.
Oh, Maluki, you almost get that feeling that he wants to try and push through this bracket smoke. Now, if he's going to push forward, he's going to get information. The thing is, though, the rotations are going to be so slow to this B bomb side, and Evil Geniuses are already putting in the execution, falling towards the new position. Mabs only gets 1 kill, and you've got to think for Team 1, do they still want to go for this day now with the banana player not finding anything? Barton's in a 1 versus 3.
Pushing forward, though. Rifle's going to get recovered here. AKs across all 3 of the remaining T-side players. Going to clutch like Breezy, and he transfers his spray to the second to do damage, but doesn't get the kill on Tarek. So 5 to the board of the EG side. Team 1 back down to basics. A very heavy investment from that last round. So set in with basic pistols for the follow-up, and EG continue the hype train.
And I'd like to see more chaos coming out from Team 1. We saw the rounds where they got aggressive Nana, where they pushed down mid. That's where they were finding a lot of those opening gunfights. It seems like when it's a little bit more passive on the CT side, it allows EG to run their defaults and to find those opening picks, to find those opening advantages, even with Ethan taking down Stanislaw in that previous round. 5-2. This could be a quick play into brackets. This is going to be quick.
Straight up, match 10 in the Stanislaw captures that first. Tarek turns around for the second at Cubby, and now it's all left to Barton. Eagle standing by, looking for head. Gets that one player at least, but Ethan's just going to drive by his way through to victory. 4v2, and Pessa and Mobs aren't losing much by taking face out here towards the A bomb site, as long as they don't lose towards the Mac 10. So the crossfire. Close Stanislaw gets himself a 3k. And Evil Genius's quick hit in that round, quick execution over the 6-2 scoreline.
Yeah, Team 1, I mean, they've got the potential going forward, Jay, to run the double AWP setup. I know Barton's a very, very comfortable hybrid kind of player, picks up that second AWP when they need it. Now, they had money to go for that kind of a buy going into round 9. They've opted against it. They're going for the M4s, backed up by the AWP of Maluki. A couple of kits, and decent utility too. Even Ethan's just on a Mac 10 into this round, even with the money being pretty good for the T's.
Rifles coming out for Team 1, obviously. Going to put those AWPs in play on Maluki at least. The map control does favour Evil Genius, as it has for the majority of these rounds. Flashbangs going forward. Barton will catch Breezy first, but Maluki falls in trade. Back out of the apartments now, on towards that balcony position. Ethan is very, very low on health. And the M4 backs even further out position. Will he face? Will he take contact? No, he won't. Ethan will get Pesadelo, meanwhile, over towards the library area. Then he's on PRT position. The Molotov will drive Barton out of angle. But the smokes are keeping the T side suppressed, and they might counter-rotate this. Yeah, they're back out of the apartments. They're going to split into the B side. Mods is left isolated and alone. Here towards the banana play. He's going to hear those footsteps on the M4. Has to get a 3k to win this round, essentially. That's a good shot to start. But now going to back up and wait for teammates to arrive. Good flash around the corner, does damage, no kill against that.
Oh, Cirque goes down though. That was looking decent for EG. They've allowed the wraparound from Ethan in through CT spawn, but 2 players on this T side are incredibly low in the post plan. For Team 1, they're coming in from the same angle, Jay.
AWP of Ethan ready to receive with such a massive HP advantage. Team 1 surely should be able to win these fights, even with that M4 in tow from PRT. Just got to bait out the AWP contact, though. He sees the 2. He's going to line him up. No, he only gets the 1. And the spray from Stanislaw connects it for Barton. Well played there from EG. All the info on the aggressive or peak, and the last player can clean house.
Look, unfortunately for Team 1, you've got to say it how it is. They need converting that. They really need to convert a round where they're in a 2 versus 2. Their HP advantage is so massive for the CT side. And for EG, they still hold on. They're able to pull their lead even further. And they're really starting to put these rounds on the board. 7-2. Team 1 on another Eco J. And they're going for something aggressive. I like this from Team 1.
Pressing forward, Stanislaw blind, takes himself for action, not even a frag as his teammates, they're cleaning up, and the aggression from Team 1 gets mopped up instead. EG, 8-2, still continuing to dominate here on T side.
Yeah, look, I like the change-up for Team 1. They've found success when they've got aggressive. It was only an eco round, but unfortunately for EG, they just counteracted by trying to play behind the utility, and Team 1 were baited into just over-aggressing. Double AWPs. It's actually going to be Pesadillo, Jay, picking up that secondary orb. So this is one of the first times we've seen Team 1 go for the dual orb setup. They need a change up, and this is the potential, Jay, to maybe try and put a third on the board and create a little bit of a different outcome.
Well, Pesa watching to that cross the AWP, keeping his eyes on Maluki, shoulder baited out position. Dropping down towards the short control as a teammate there, starting to watch on nades. Out of angle. Molotovs. Trying to take a full player out of cover. He doesn't land quite deep enough. Breezy and Ethan will get those 2 frags. Barton trying to trade back. He's the lone holder of the A site. He sees a few more sprees. Good for damage, but not for the kill. Plant secured. Pesa and Mal up for the retake, and they're just going to save it. No sense in going for this. Oh, wow, this is domination here from EG.
Yeah, it really is. That round right there just shows the confidence level on EG. You know, how quick they are to taking this brackets control. Pretty much all rounds on the T side haven't been slow at all. Yeah, maybe there's a couple of slow rotations and things like that for the T side, but the majority of these rounds, especially around the brackets control, has come in very, very quickly. They deal with the pit player with ease from Tarek. And they're even going hunting. Realize how important it is if they can at least take down one more member of one of the saving players. 9-2. This T side is looking pretty unstoppable. Why is Malps peeking there, Jay? He does not need to fight at all. That is one overextension that I just can't understand why he's fighting.
Trying to at least take some of the rifles out for EG, I guess, but even then, the money is still so good for EG, even if that one player had gone down. So much money for Stan and Soak to drop weapons, a $6,700 float at minimum for Breezy. Real good right now for the T-side money basis, and it will continue to look that way as we move on into the pistols for Team 1. The Orpa Barton, all that remains. Good nades on the do damage to Stanislaw and Cirque. Pesadillo placing forward against one rifle. They've caught off that first player towards the near position, and EG are fighting into the long control. 2 players to find. Smokes down. AWP doesn't get it. Breezy gets still a double kill at the end. He's ramping over as Breezy actually makes it a 3K out of the apartment in towards short. Quadra for him. They all get mopped up, and Evil Genius is here on this T-side on their map pick, for showing why it's their map pick.
And I think for Breezy, yeah, he might be the highest rated player in IEM New York, Jay, but he wants to try and push it even further. 16-5 on the T side. Even this last kill, just bang, doesn't even have the rifle out, gets to it, still an easy kill. And you know what's maybe a bit of more of a surprise than what we've seen so far, Jay, is like where are the pauses here for Team 1 when they've just been getting decimated on the gun rounds?
No such is going to be seen out here. The Orps in Vepeta and Maluki. Double orb shot. I mean, I guess there is a certain element of, listen, right, this is actually their opponent's map pick. It's not a great map for them, so maybe they're not even going to bother using the tacticals. I mean, at the same time, though, there's also that element of, listen, they're going to have it for the, you know, have it for every map anyway, so why not take CFR you can go?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a bunch of different thinkings and ideologies to how to play the game. Definitely Team 1 are falling apart due to their lack of pauses, or just otherwise in general because of the map here from Evil Geniuses. Overwhelming on the B site, 2 frags found, 1 traded back on the CT side of things. A small gap to that smoke, but Maluki did not see the player that crossed the coffins, and they should know that he's there as well. They'll jump face, evade the orb shots, evade the kills, bomb plant. And Team 1, like, the chances of going for this probably going to be slim as that on a 4v3 disadvantage.
And not only have they got complete side control for the T side, you've even got Breezy backstabbing. Now, if he gets a couple of kills, okay, he knows now. He knows, right, we can go hunting. We know that they're saving. How many kills can I find? Make it 2, make it 3. Oh, Jay, that crosshair placement was beautiful. And Team 1 just kept peeking him one by one from the library angle, and it does not get much easier than that.
Like, that's just the easiest plant ever. Like, the easiest exit. Like, it's just tap.
Yeah.
You might as well just tapped them. Like, just tapped off their head. Feeding up those frags. And EG continuing to dominate the opposition. 11-2 on the T side. And this first map, at least, is over. I'm just going to call it right now, though. I don't see it. I mean, unless there's an amazing T-side from Team 1 that we don't know about. Oh, knows where PRT is, knows that Petadeto's shoulder baiting. These pistols already picked apart. 2 frags, nades down, Molotov in. And 2 CTs total to the B site to hold off Maluki from Cross, Barton from site. And... one frag, Ethan will find that Maluki, kick it off with a kill on towards the main entrance, but Mob's left alone to try and deal with the rest of it. It's not going to happen for him. This is going to be a 12th for Evil Geniuses, a 10-round lead here for this T side.
What I love for EG is the discipline in this kind of round, Jay. Like, they're everywhere. There was a minute on the clock. They've got top banana control. They've got players out from brackets. You've got an apartments lurk. And they're just feeding off one another, getting the map control, getting that information, and getting that bomb down to the B bomb side. Barton's going to be the last one left to just try and see if he could do any kind of exit damage.
I don't even think he'll get any exit damage. I mean, at the stage in the game, in the half, like, you know, with only a single round to go, like, I don't even think that's going to mean much in terms of exit damage. Yeah. Every player can invest into AWPs with upgrade pistols and head Kevlar and full sets of utility. Like, this post-plant is meaningless for Barton. Like, you know, it's just stats padding for him on the Deagle if he gets anything out of this. So, EG looking hot right now. Definitely the signs of a squad who are the best team in America right now. 12 to most likely 13. There will be a buyback coming in from TO, but AWPs without head Kevlar, M4s in limited utility sets for some players. It's still going to be tough here, Dwight.
Yeah, look, it really is. For Team 1, you can give them the exception that their track record on Inferno is not fantastic. They only played it once in IEM New York, and that was against 100 Thieves in the group stage. But EG looking to potentially put 13 rounds up on the T side. Team 1 at least putting some early utility down towards the bottom of the Banana, and a bit of an aggression's going to come through from mid and Banana from the CT side.
Nade snacks from the D-side will do some damage to the Moles first off, get an overall HP advantage. Pesadillo kicks off the frag counts, but Breezy chimes back into training, so 4 on 4. Tarek moving up this mid position. Smokes down onto the main cross. AWP will fire away. And the bomb of Ethan peeking in first. Usually I'd say this would be a bad idea, but this is Ethan we're talking about. Breezy getting PRT for his triple. Maluki gonna rotate back to the B site. Ethan's gonna catch him at the end of the smoke. Simple frag. Simple round, it seems, going the way of EG. Barton in a 1-on-4, isolated, peeking in through the smoke. Tarek just got to spot him and shut him down, and he'll do just that. 13-2 at the half for EG as we come back with a second. Team 1 have a mountain to climb.
And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never place the sun never goes, it's a feeling. We watch the waves wash over the shore, the horizon.
(13-2) is the scoreline. The Evil Geniuses will dominate Team 1 on their first half. Going into the second is where things will need to just pick up from where they left off here for the CT defensive. Evil Geniuses starting things off with 2 flashes and a defuse on Stanislaw for his pistol round defense and stack out towards mid. Team 1 showing their hand early.
A lot of decoy grenades coming out from Team 1, maybe trying to see if they can sell a play towards the A-bomb side, but start to retake banana control. Terek's lost his teammate, and now it's all down to Stanislaw towards his B-bomb side. He's the player with the kit. He needs more support to come through. A 3-on-5 for Evil Genius. Stanislaw trying to tap away. He needs more help to come through, but the rotation's too slow. There's going to be time to even come in towards Nubox.
As if they went for a knife like that. Team 1, 4v2. Pistol's coming up to retake. So it's going to get 2 headshots. Back to evens. They know one player's escaped through the cross at the CT spawn. And Zerg, no, Breezy's going to challenge him. 15 HP. Zerg gets that headshot. He's on for the quadra. He sees the shoulder baits. Breezy's going to steal it at the end there just to get the 14th. The pistol going the way of Evil Geniuses.
And that's like one of those silent statements where it's like, yeah, you knifed our teammate, but we also still won that round in a 2-on-4. Those were some incredible shots coming out from Cirque and Breezy, and all they needed to do was just crossfire off one another, and the USPs just do the damage. Team 1, yeah, they get a bomb plant. It allows the force to come into round 17, Jay. But man, you thought in that situation that there was no chance that Team 1 were going to lose it.
Yeah, like you looked at that situation thinking, man, that was going to be theirs. That should have been their pistol.
Yeah.
But Zerk goes beast mode all over them, and that's just going to end in heartbreak. I mean, of course, they get the bomb plant. They can get the rifles back in to try force the issue and try and deny that map point for EG. But for Team 1, obviously, it needs to go a little bit further than just that here on this map. And I honestly feel like very early on in this game, they'd written it off. Inferno, not their pick, one of EG's best maps, and seeing this come to fruition, it just means it's probably going to have to be a write-off map for Team 1 the same. So look towards that second, see what momentum you can get in that interim, see if these AKs can do any damage against the M4s and the SMGs.
A hero AK moment here for Team 1 rather than going for the Galils. Ooh, big opening kill from Pesadillo. Now, Stanislaw's playing a pretty big off angle with his teammate from short, but now there's not really any long presence. So Breezy's attention, he's got to be looking to the apartments and through long because they don't really have the information, but now they're starting to retake. Bracken, Stanislaw, and Breezy doing damage, but the A-bomb site has been opened up.
Now they've got rifles to work with here. They've drawn their attention. The bomb from Maluki can rotate to the B side. Barton's going to get Jericho. Now looking for the next player straight through against Ethan. And through the barrels, we'll know exactly where he is. The safest plant for Maluki now is on that A side. And how does his SMG go for it here? I mean, he can sneak in towards brackets, catch the M4s, and go with that kind of a retake. But with no kit, a flash and a smoke is all he's really got to work with. This set he will try and move close. We'll put a smoke down relatively local to the site. A flash over that Maluki's going to evade. His teammate lurking in the midst of that smoke. He's going straight through, take damage, 3 HP. Maluki with a stray bullet lands towards him. And Team 1 will have themselves a return round.
And look, that's much better coming out from Team 1. We saw for Evil Geniuses, they kind of got cooped up a little bit into that short control. Once they lost the long player from Cirque, it seemed like there were too many angles to check at the same time. So for Evil Geniuses, rather than just playing passive, they looked to try and take some control back. We saw them swinging out from brackets, and that's how Team 1 were able to isolate the site, open it up, force that 2 versus 2 in. EG going to be back on their own force buy though, Jay. And I tell you what, Evil Geniuses has been very, very successful when it comes to these eco force buy deagle rounds in the past, but it hasn't been a great start. Already a couple of kills going the way of Team 1 from the apartments.
Yeah, they read that stack in from EG, Molotov, and spray through with the Galil, and Tarek and Circle for Ethan next go down to Mulbs here on the B-side entrance. That entry for the SMG gets money and a 5-on-2 advantage now for the T side. Molotovs at the back lines are cleared out, but all the rotations are coming in from Stanislaw and Breezy. Smokes down to resmoke the cross area on Coffin's bomb plant should be secured. And this should be 4 for the T side.
kind of surprised EG are even staying this close to the side. I mean, they'll know that they're probably not going to be able to win a 2 versus 5. At least try and maybe hold on to these weapons and bring it into the next round. But they're going to try and see if they can do some damage. And Malbs is Mac 10, and now Breezy. I'm really hoping that Team 1 don't completely leave the bomb site, saying they are checking the construction angle, because that could have got a little bit dicey.
Indeed, it could have, but fortunately it does not for Team 1. The pistols going to get overwhelmed and the rifles will reign supreme. We're down to basic eco for the EG side, so shouldn't be too much of a contest here in this next round. Team 1 still have a couple of downgrades here and there, but again, against the rifles is where things will get more tricky for them at this stage with the Skaloo and the Mac 10. They should still be able to isolate these frags very easily on the pistol basic players of the EG side. Stacking towards the A play from the CETs. Team 1 are leaning in towards their A default. There's actually a boiler and apartment stack. This can get really interesting real quick, as they can isolate these pistols and get on towards that one frag of PRT. Well, him and Bartim will clean up a couple of frags, but they do find one in trade.
Decent damage so far. If they can find one more kill, that would be a very, very happy affair for EG, but doesn't look too likely with Breezy being the last one left. And pushing into second mid, Barton is going to be able to find the final bullet. So 5 on the board in terms of rounds for Team 1. And you've got to think for them, you know, realistically, this is going to be a very, very difficult comeback to try and take it to overtime or try and take this map. So the best that they can really do, Jay, is let's just see if they can get to double digits, build up a little bit of self-confidence going into their next map pick of Train, because already at a scoreline at 5-14 down, you can pretty much write the map off.
AK straight in, nice flash over, and a peek up from a circle, look to try and take that first contact on Team 1. They're going to evade it though. So no potential for damage coming in for the CT side. The Molotov incendiaries could do difference here. Mobs fires off those first bullets, made into his position. Cirque takes some damage, but Mobs takes a lot more here. Now the SMG going to get flashed around this corner. This could be a perfect combination. Mobs gets that frag on Tarek though. Ethan trying to respond to take him down, but they vacate the banana control on the CT side. Only one player to defend B, so they need him alive.
I tell you what, some really great timing there for Team 1. If the flash would have come in maybe a second or two earlier for the CT side, then maybe they could have wide swung and caught off a few players that T side completely blind. And Malb's finding that opening pick, and now they're working the map control. And I tell you what, they've found an opening through Long J. This is completely undefended. They can wrap a player in through Speedway if they want. Pesadello still making his way. Oh, the flashbang though, and they don't see each other. How has that managed to happen?
That must have been the perfect timing for that flash. I don't know if he caught his teammate in it, but either way, lucky for Pesadello to maintain that map control. They're starting to sneak in towards the short control. They're pressing the side. They isolate. Then there's no spray through for Breezy. Comes up with one frag and two. Two more to find round here towards the short control. Doing that damage to the Luki, but does get overwhelmed with the numbers game. So gets that trade. So all's left is PRT. On plant to be secured. Smoke down to the cross. Gonna try and overextend for more cover or just play towards the site itself. He sees his man. No, he doesn't take damage for it. Sees one popping out the right-hand side. And there's Ethan with his second. A brilliant retake there from Evil Genius. It's costly, but it does get them to 15.
It was really Breezy that probably won that round for them, Jay. He was able to get 2 kills in the site and dink out a third to take him down to low HP. The City player wasn't blind. I don't know how that happened, but in the end, Team 1 get a little bit of luck in that long control, but then Breezy just cleaning up the pieces, retake mode coming in, and 15 rounds on the board, Jay. And that's the thing, in this kind of a deficit, all it's going to take is a couple of rounds, and EG have got the first step to getting to the next. They're on map point.
And there's Maluki with the opening frag, at least. Team 1 trying to hold their own here on T-side still. Maybe not written off as much as they have done. I thought they did, but this mid-control might not matter anyway. Simple 2 frags, 2 versus 4 now. Okay, PRT going to use that bomb as a bait here. The AWP could get faced in upon by the AK. Gets that corner, gets that shot. Breezy's not missing. 3 kills for him, with Barton being left alone in the apartments. No way to clutch this. Team 1 will concede the first map to Evil Geniuses. 16-5 to the favor of the CT side.
And Breezy's looking for his 30. 29 kills for him. He has just been such an important figure in this first map, Inferno. And for Team 1, we saw a handful of good rounds here or there, but in the end, Evil Geniuses dominate their way on Inferno. 30 kills in the end, 30-9 for Breezy. And for Team 1, they just weren't able to deal with the big fella.
Yeah, Breezy, an incredible game from him. 30 bomb by the end of that quadra to the end of that round to seal it for him. And just an incredible game overall from the Evil Geniuses side. Like, they just came in full guns a-blazing, weren't slowing down for anything. They wanted to take the fight right to Team 1 and just punish them overall. And, you know, it doesn't surprise me too much that the CT setups weren't that great from Team 1. It doesn't surprise me that the T-side defaults weren't fantastic until they got the rifle and weapon advantage from Team 1. This is a map that they're not particularly proficient on, and I think it did show by the end of this matchup.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think Team 1, I think they made a lot of mistakes in that first half. Again, I don't want to drill on them too hard, but, you know, things like when you're saving at the B site and you've got Malbs just wide swinging from Nubox when you know how strong the economy is from the T side, you know, mistakes like that shouldn't come through. We saw when they got aggressive down mid, when they got aggressive down banana, they got successful. I think they tried it 3 times and they only, well, 2 of the times they converted it, but I felt like where they found the most success was when they got aggressive, and we didn't really get to see a lot from them in terms of aggression on that CT side.
Yeah, no, I mean, there was that one round where they pushed mid, which seems to be like a common strategy for every CT side of Inferno. And it kind of had its impacts, you know, for the Team 1 at least. I mean, obviously for the CTs of Evil Geniuses, it had a lot more impacts. They tried that in 2 rounds. They made it work fantastically for both of them. So, you know, for them, like, it definitely is one of those strategies where it's like, listen, they definitely know how to play it. They know where its weaknesses, its strengths, and where it should be used, where it can be used, and, you know, when to play it. And it felt like that they just had a better handle on that for both maps overall. They also had good counters that made aggression. I noticed the Team 1's weren't as successful as what we saw from the EG camp. You know, in that last round, for example, they had 4 players alive by the end of the matchup. So, you know, like they've got a good way of keeping themselves alive. And it's a small little things that make Inferno one of those better maps here for EG.
Yeah, look, absolutely. And you've got to think, Jay, you know, it may get a little bit easier for Team 1. The next map in the best of 3 will be train picked by Team 1. We're going to head over to a short little break. Don't go anywhere because the second map of the series is up just after this.
With the right CPU, you can turn any game from familiar to phenomenal. Unleash the potential in all your gaming with Intel 10th Gen processors. With its optimal balance of threads, cores, and frequency to deliver elite real-world performance, only Intel can bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game PC optimizations. Supercharge your Marvel's Avengers experience with Intel Core i5, i7, and i9 processors.
Ring ring! The IEM New York Experience Box is here. Hot, fresh, and delivered straight to your door. Tasty ingredients make this box a must-have. Claim yours quick at the ESL shop before they sell out. Oh, and there's no real pizza. Get your taste of New York while it's hot.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Glasses on, my hoodie's right. Break the door, give me side eyes. I ain't feeling yours, cause I'm feeling mine. Slide back to the future, got my own time. It's sipping dope to feel right. Got my own high, don't need no lies. Sneaky bitches never ever act with so nice. Alright. it all the time. You can tell me nothing. Come back when you got something to say. Just put the fire in my man. I'ma go get 'em. No time looking back, every day gotta do better. I'ma go get 'em. Blow the roof off for I really want to see, now go tell 'em. About to touch the sky, no helmet. Preparing myself on top, no weapons. On my own, I stop caring. Cause they keep telling me you can tell me nothing. Come back when you got something to say. Just put the fire in my man. Take a seat in the back, yeah. You can tell me nothing. Come back when you got something to say. Just put the fire in my man. Take a seat in the back, yeah.
Intel Extreme Masters New York Online is brought to you in part by Intel, Acer Predator, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, DHL, AT&T, U.S. Air Force, and GG Bet.
Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters New York online. It proved to be no contest from Team 1 on the first map of Inferno, a 16-5 quickly dispatched by them from the Evil Geniuses side. This second map is where things could get a little bit more spicy for the Brazilians, though. Again, it was their pick-up train. It's a map that has seen good results from Evil Geniuses on statistics and paper, but in reality, there's a lot more practice for the Team 1 side, and Evil Geniuses, you know, I feel like this is where they're really going to be tested in this series.
Yeah, look, I'm with you there. We kind of went into this and sort of said, oh, you know, we think that there's a potential of a 2-0 here for EG. We think it's going to go to a third map. And for Team 1, they really need to turn things around, right? We didn't see a lot of confidence from them on that first map. We didn't see a lot of success from them. This is now their map pick. Now, EG don't play it a lot. We saw them play it twice in IEM New York against Rebirth and Furia. Against Rebirth, look, that was a very easy game. Against Furia, a little bit more of a tough affair. But they still put 13 rounds up. So you've got to think for EG, if they can bring to the table what they brought on Inferno, we could have a seriously close second map.
Absolutely, you know, like there were some flashes of brilliance there from the Team 1 side. It's just that it seemed a lot more consistent there from the Evil Geniuses cam. And again, from a map that they played far and beyond any other map in the pool, you must expect it in the default pick, you know, to be such a competent affair there from them that you would expect that to a certain extent. And, you know, the one-sided result was what we ended up getting at the end of the day there, Blake. So, you know, there's potential, I think, in terms of Team 1 and what they can do. I'm definitely riding them to win this map up. I think how close it is, though, will decide the outcome for the rest of the series, because Dust 2 is coming up after this map up. I think that could be the most coin toss on the day performance sort of map up for between these two sides. And I'm looking at it thinking to myself that if Team 1 take a close map up here and they're able to win it out on train, then I think that honestly Evil Geniuses should be able to smash them over on Dust 2.
And I think that's one of the big things we've seen in this sort of like online era of Counter-Strike is on-the-day performances. You have a look at what Breezy did on Inferno, and he was just absolutely destroying everyone. You know, he was fighting multi-kills, rounds where he was fighting 3Ks, 4Ks. He got 30 kills and just 9 deaths. You've got to think that even if he just brings 75% of that over onto train, Team 1 still need to deal with him, and that's got to be the main objective, shutting down Breezy. They've got to come into this and say, right, where does Breezy play? That's where we need to put attention to, or maybe not attention to. Do they want to try and find some weak spots of the EG side? They need to surround themselves on what they want to do, a game plan that revolves around the Breezy as a player, because, man, if he shows up again, then EG are just going to be so far ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, there's some absolutely manic numbers that were posted up by players in that last matchup. And certainly if they replicate those performances here on this second map of train, again, we talked about that 2-0 potential in terms of Evil Geniuses being such a far-gone team compared to Team 1. And, well, that's still on the table here. You know, that's the one outcome we haven't entertained as of right now here in this pre-match. Going into this second map, you've got to keep your eyes on those players. Again, Breezy is the main man, went plus 21. Plus 21. I'm going to say that again. Plus 21 in the last map up compared to like Ethan's plus 9, who's the second player down from him. Like, that's absolutely mad numbers. You know, it's ridiculous from Breezy. So if he gets going, especially on T side, which is where EG I believe will be going to in the second half, then that's where things are really going to get spicy F Team 1.
Yeah, look, absolutely. And you've got to think too, yeah, you can have a look at Breezy and talk about his insane stat lines, but over on Inferno, even though he was doing so much, there were so many other players that were stepping up too. We saw a lot of post plants, 2 versus 2s, 3 versus 3s, where we just saw a lot of clutching coming out, a lot of great team play peeking on each other's contacts. And for Team 1, they need to come into their own. We know that Train's a good map for them statistically. They played a hell of a lot. They've put some really good results up on the board. We saw them, especially against the MDL level teams, your RBG, your Mythic, your New England Whalers, looking very successful in this map. Now this is going to be a big test against a team like EG.
Well, here we go, the ultimate test to see how good Team 1 are on their most confident map in the pool. Now the defeats give Stanislaw on that CT, half starting things off. Malu with a double flash and a smoke. We've got decoys into the other players here on PRT and Mob. Not going to mean much of anything. And the Kevlar across both boards coming in for the 4 remaining players. Team 1's odds have definitely taken a nosedive. Evil Genius is more and more the favourites as time ticks on. And Breezy will try to take contact to ensure that that is the end result here. Sees3 takes down 1, dropping that bomb most conveniently as well. So catching off that player at the right moment will force the retake coming in from EG. A 5-on-4 advantage for them as well.
One thing to keep an eye out for is where the positions are being held from on this CT side. No one coming in from the backstab of Decon or the pop dog area. Breezy still tapping away. He's going to be able to find 2 kills. A man advantage being found. The Glocks need to be able to try and bring this back. Players on the site itself on the CT side. Pesadilla trying to tap away with the Glock. And now it's all down to his teammate of Barton to try and win this out. And the bomb, it's not planted for him. Barton's coming in through connector, but Tarek has no idea where he can be.
Trying to find that kit, has no idea where it got dropped. There it is on the floor right there. No info on the player from Connector, now sneaking up here. Information being gained. I'd say it's a kill. Has he got time for this? No, not quite. Gotta save the Kevlar, gotta save the kit. He'll get a dodge just in time. That's a pistol barely going the way of Team 1. And, well, it will be a good start for them on the T side again. We saw how much contention EG held on that retake. It's gonna be a hard graft here for the T side.
And you saw how much time it took Tarek to try and find that kit. You know, when you're on the T side and you drop the bomb, you can see it on the radar, but you can't see the kits. And for Tarek, he wasn't sure if it dropped into the old hell position. He wasn't sure if it was dropped into sandwich. And in the end, it was just too late. Tries to bait out the play from the connector player of Barton, but not enough time to get that defuse through. A couple of scouts and upgraded deagles for EG to work with on the force fight. I've got Stanislaw playing solo over towards B, having an early stack to the A bomb side. And for Team 1, it looks like it's going to be a really big outer play. Look at the wall of smokes.
Straight up onto the side. The Molotov's going to try and respond as well and force the issue back on the EG side. Pesadelo at the edge of the smoke on the default bomb position. Will flashbang in, try and throw the CPs off. Allow a bit more breathing room for the bomb planters to cross. Barton will get aggressive. Get even. Drop opening up here. Pesadelo with the Galil. Get dark on connector. Breezy catches the low speed player. And Tarek with the Eagle gets it back to a 3-on-3. Now there's a couple of options to work with. That UMP in particular. Breeze around the corner with a scout. Misses it shot against Pesadelo. He ducks out of dodge just in time. And now a 3-on-2, trying to make it 1 here, and indeed that UMP will quickly fall, so all left stands on the back line to contest that one player. Hold the trigger for a little bit too long. This peak timing was a little bit awkward of its own accord, so BRT closes down to round 2-0 now for Team 1.
And I'll tell you what, for anyone at home that's sort of looking for like a simple AXE, have a look at that round right there from Team 1. They used 5 smokes, Jay, to that A bomb side. You had 3 around the bomb train, on the bomb train to the left and to the right. Your 5-6 sandwich smoke and an even hell smoke or olive smoke. You don't see all too often for the T side, but a lot of utility came through. And even for Team 1, rather than putting the bomb down and going passive, Jay, they looked to overextend and try and push through their own utility.
Look at Breezy. There's a kill on Maluki. Quick frag round, easy. And AK comes up. Pesadelo catches those 2 Vex frags, so they can't grab the AK just yet here. Not expecting any more contact from the CT presence though, and they're going to hear that. Breezy's going to push forward as a result, grab a Galil to work with. Spartan now holds contest here in the B site. One up player has already pushed so far into Connect. He'll cut up any rotations. They'll try and stand through the wall and do some damage through the wall. Man, Berserker only going to go so far with it. Plant can be secure. This is a 4v3 retake favor of Team 1.
You've got to think, what's the play here? Do they want to try and hold on to the Galil and then not have to upgrade that single weapon onto Breezy into the next round? Stanislaw was in the back line and still is. Now, he's heard footsteps of 2 players. He might be able to get behind one to at least find a bit of a cheeky kill.
Oh, USP's been allowed to sneak by here. And Breezy's been allowed to contact of his own right. Down the stairs, a pop dog. Oh, missing his burst. Does catch that kill, though. They're going to catch up a secondary player as well. I mean, Stanislaw's not going to go for the lead in the feud. They're going to catch a lot of damage, actually, for this eco. Breezy. Can he get an AK out? I don't think he's just towards one, so it doesn't seem to be. But even so, that little lurk from the Galil with the pistol also coming in at the right moment, that's not a ton of damage to Team 1.
That's fantastic, and that really puts a smile on your dial if you're EG. You had a USP round where you were able to save a Galil and get 3 kills. You couldn't have asked for a better round. They're going to invest the AWP onto Cirque. He's just got enough money to go for the body Kevlar and a flash. But no more utility can back him up. Maluki on the T side bringing out the big green gun. Early nades in towards the T composition, but it's fast brown horse control for Team 1. Looking to try and make a little bit of a play over towards the B side in the early round.
Jump face from Maluki. Looking round to the Ivy presence. Will try and fire down range, but unable to connect any kills. Smokes on here for the CT side will keep Team 1 at bay. AWP and Maluki keeping his eyes just in case anyone wants to push forward at the moment here for the CT side. One player in Pop Dog will be the most aggressive of them all. It's very passive from the Brown Halls other than that here. The flashbangs will try and drive them away, but they've got all sorts of upper and Brown Halls control. This outside smokes could be a fake play. Might draw some attention indeed. Yes, that bomb's making its way into the B site with no presence being held, no noise being made. It draws one man back towards Sashtor, busting through, not getting the kill on Miles. Will do the damage. Ethan and Stan do rotate, but they hold control. Cirque there with his AWP pick turns to 2. Now one player facing in from Ramp leaves it on 1. Barton stands alone, and the M4 swings out from Ethan. Doesn't get his damage done, but they've secured the round here for EG.
Barton just trying to see if he can do any more damage. He knows there's a player trying to bait out towards a close fire position, but Stanislaw with the swing from heaven. And for Team 1, honestly, that wasn't a bad call. They actually set themselves up really nicely. We saw a back green smoke coming out, faking the outside execution. Cirque rotated from connector to A. Stanislaw was the only player at B, but EG still established a crossfire. Stanislaw stays alive, drops that bomb. Cirque starts to rotate in with Ethan. And Team 1, they made the right call, but they still didn't get the round together.
All down to some impressive performances from the B-side defenders, or at least what was left of it. Hats off to Stan. He did a wonderful job there on that defensive. Rewarded with an AK this next round, 3 of which are out for the CT count. 1 M4 for Ethan, and a fast play in from Team 1. Might just try and catch them off guard with sheer speed. Tarek, top of blue, being flashed out blind, not seeing anything inside forces. No catch on a sandwich. He doesn't take it out, but it's Breezy trying to respond towards it, but Maluki snuck his way all the way to the back of the site. Cirque will get him to drop, and Stanislaw now 2-on-2 with him and Cirque versus Barton and PRT. Bomb does get picked up, Barton turns that Mat 10 onto a frag, and now Cirque with the remains turns around with a fantastic flick. Bomb dropped on the train now, and he can even to clutch it for his team. Team 1 went so far, but not far enough.
Oh, Cirque. I'll tell you what, I even think that the second to last shot was more impressive than that last one. The flick onto the mid bomb train position, and then follows up by just slow peeking around and getting that last kill. Big clutch to go the way of Cirque. Now, the money's still very low for the CT side. There could have been a chance for a reinvestment for Team 1, but with their money in scrambles too, they're just opting to go for a very light investment. They've got a Flash, a Zeus, a Deagle, not a lot on this T side.
Yeah, basics out. A Flash from Maluki is the best thing they got going for them. Maybe that Deagle for Barton at a stretch, but M4 busting through. Dutch, Tarek, couple good kills. AWP doubles up in his own right. The M4 looking for a little bit more USB coming out as Ethan just controls out from the bomb train. Orb shot from Maluki. They're left alone 1v5. And EG just clean house, not allowing those ecos to do much in terms of the damage here. They've dealt with them so fantastically.
Yeah, no, they certainly have. Team 1, they got off to a good start, Jay. 1 pistol, won the anti-eco conversion, and got that 3-0 start. Haven't been able to find a response since, though. Haven't seen a lot of Ivy presence either. We've seen at least once that Maluki was run boosted with that AWP out from the Ivy position, but they've never really taken control. The only time they did was when we saw Breezy shutting it down in the pistol rounds.
Up close range for Stark, trying to use that as a shotgun more than anything else. But Scope didn't try to do some damage to the players. Now, Pesadelo with the taps on Tarek takes him down. The T side press forward here towards Sandwich. There is one CT waiting and baiting, and Moles will get a kill, doubling up as Maluki falls, leaving Cirque alone once again in the 1 versus 3. But Pesadelo will drop, so no clutch for him this time. And Team 1 will reign supreme on the A side. 4 rounds up now here on T side.
EG can certainly buy back, but we sort of... You go back to that 1v2 clutch from Cirque and you think, right, only 1 player stayed alive. The next round, everyone went down. It seems like it's been a bit of a battle in terms of the economies, Jay. You know, who's going to be able to sort of reset each other? And Pesadelo, fantastic shot coming out from Top Dog. And Team 1, they want to try and go for something a little bit more aggressive. They're going for some outer smokes really quickly, but not committing with it. No one even from T-Cod. People are starting to regroup up into the showers position.
Here they go. Very quickly into the brown halls, not wasting any time for Team 1 to set this up. No fakes this time. Straight on to the B-side execution, it seems. What do they got to work with? They got plenty of smoke, so they can do the standard sets on towards ramp, cross, connector as well. Flashes coming out of the early phase, and the make their way in. 3 players out of dodge, and Mobs gets transport for Breeze. The edge of the oil does catch off PRD, does not swing on the bomb though. Couldn't get his toe shot, so 4-on-4 for the retake. Damage done to the CTs. Heavy damage done to Malbs on the T side. Barton's the forward facer, and he puts that nade on to start to get damage. In the end, he does 4. Maluki and Pesadello get 2 kills in the interim. The spray's good for Maluki, but not good enough for the kill. Cirque falls to Pesa, and Breezy left alone at the back lines. A 1-on-3. Molotov probably drive him away. No, actually, he's sticking around at the edge of red. Didn't see the player crossing at summit spot. Probably should go up with the bomb here at this stage. It's just a case of escaping for Team 1. Breezy going to make some noise. The footsteps will be heard by one player of the AK. We said a mob trying to catch him. Couldn't get him to fall. He will keep his life in check for a 5th round for Team 1. The AWP does stay in play.
Nice. Yeah, that's big from Breezy, and obviously Cirque had been playing out towards that A bomb site in the last round, Jay, so that information gets relayed for Breezy to sort of say, right, if you've got a chance, try and go back through connector and see if you can pick up that AWP, so at least you bring something forward into the next round rather than the M4. And pass that over to Cirque. He'll invest into a little bit of body armor, but outside of that, Jay, not a lot of investments to follow for EG. Team 1 starting to really put a bit of a lead on in this T side.
Yeah, they really are. And that's encouraging for a T side as well of train. Like, you know, one part of the reason why Team 1's train is so good is the fact that they have got a competent T side, but it's always backed up with just as strong as CT sides. For them to get off on the right foot here for this opening half, it's an encouraging sign. Shouldn't be much contest from EG to try and make that different here. The AWP of Cirque being the only rifle they have. Deagles and USPs in. And Breezy having one of them. And the rifles for everybody else here. The AKs, AWP out for Team 1. Nobody on the B site play. Execution set in with the smokes and flashes. They'll rotate to try to do some damage, but the retake is probably off the table here.
Yeah, you'd think so, right? The main objective's got to be able to hold on to that AWP and see if you can do some damage. Hang on a minute, 4v3. This is starting to look pretty good for EG, but now they've got the opportunity, Jay, of holding onto an AK, and there's a backstabbing play coming in from Pesadello, but Stanislav's going to find a secondary kill.
No way! That's the only man left. Gets the tap on one and 2 minutes sticking the foot to another. He can't reach him. He'll get his 3 frags, but Tarek's not moving. He knows he can stick this and stick this. He will. The Molotov coming way too late. Tarek will get dealt with. Pesa with 4 frags. The Evil Geniuses with 4 rounds.
Oh no. I can't believe Evil Geniuses win that. That's unacceptable from Team 1. It really is. You can't be losing rounds like that. There's a single orb, a deagle from Breezy, and USPs for the rest of the team. Oh, you thought in the 4-on-3 that now they're able to pick up an AK, there's a potential of, oh, let's just save these weapons into the next round. But then as soon as Stanislaw finds another kill, they're like, right, let's go for it. And as soon as they know that Pesadello is the player backstabbing in from connector, Tarek goes, right, I'm just going to stick the bomb, see if you can defend for as long as possible. And he really seems to be the only silver lining for this T side. 15-4 for Pesadello. He's doing everything, but it wasn't enough.
So unacceptable for Team 1. That should have been such a good round for them, but it just was not to be. AKs, AWP set in for the T side. M4s to respond from Evil Geniuses with an AWP out for Cirque. Pesadello will fall first. Maluki getting heavily tagged in the Ivy presence. And look at the aggression coming in from Tarek. Look how far he's pushed up to see the bomb here. PRT will train him at least, catch it to a 4-on-4. But Stanislav's got 2 more players out of round. They're going to completely dry face and get shut down for it. Or pick a Cirque, going to catch mobs easy. 3-on-2 now for EG.
More aggression continues, and, well, they've done damage onto Maluki. They've got the information. Breezy. Oh, start to push forward into the off position. Now into the 1v1 against PRT. Playing out from Sandwich. The flash doesn't blind him off, and PRT is now going to be the one to clutch out for Team 1. It seems like in this series, Jay, we are going back and forth to see who can clutch out the best.
Indeed, yes, 6-4. Team 1 are coming back and forth against the EG side time after time. And there will be no stopping the back and forth between the T and CT sides. AK's up, Deagles in, the Kevlar out, the CTs have only one defuse kit. A handful of utility, not much in the grand scale of things. Molotov down, they up AK spray for one, Ethan will spray back from PRD, spray from Molotov, doing damage, continue to tap further forward, get himself a nice double, and there's now 2 players left for the EG side. 4-on-2 scenario, Team 1. Only got EG players on the B site, and they basically won this round.
Barton, though, may get overwhelmed for the aggression. They'll know straight away. They can just bring that bomb quickly into the A bomb site, Jay. They've got the info that 2 players aggressed in through Brown Halls. Stanislaw and Breezy. You've got to think, maybe saving onto these weapons is the best bet. This was a force buy, Jay, and, well, the T's have got complete A site control while both of the CTs are out on B.
On this stage, they're looking to hold on to the Kevlar and the fuse kit. Maybe those upgrade pistols would be okay for the next round. I'm not sure where EG stand in terms of a force buy. I don't think it's advisable, but you stand with the eco, the Deagles could be a bit more of a bonus for them. You've got the utility set in for the T side. Obviously, the AK is out to play. Orb was lost a little bit earlier on. I don't think they brought it into this next round, so having Team 1 just be able to stack up the money for the most part would be okay for mobs to potentially rebuy into the rifle rounds. But again, for Team 1, no need to invest into this next round here. 7's in the board. They should get an 8th pretty easy. EG can't go for a force up here. They have to eco.
Yeah, look, 1900 loss bonus. They don't really have too many options but to just go for the full eco. Team 1, you're right, Jay. Now, we've seen their CT side being very successful, as well as their T side, but CT side more so. So already with a 7-4 scoreline, they've put themselves in a really great position in the turn of the half to going into their CT side. You've got to think that sort of at 7-4, maybe they can push 9-10 rounds in T. If they can do that, I think they'll be very, very pleased with what they've been able to perform. But it's a little bit of B-side aggression through Brown Halls. But for Team 1, they're already down Pop Dog. They're looking to go A.
Shots of the Brown Halls will come through from EG as Breezy falls. They'll realize quickly that there is nobody else to defend against it and quickly rush the site, get the bomb plant. No one's covering off the pop-up position. The Molotov finally comes through from the player at Econ, so it does stop them for a moment. 5-on-4 scenario. The nades up, PRT, 2 frags and touchdown. Suck and Ethan, not really much else that they can do from here. Back over to the despawn. Maluki has seen them. Will fire away, keep them suppressed. Will be unable to land any kills though. That's fine for Team 1. They can get themselves an 8th to that T-side board and take the half here at the first half here for Team 1.
Man, it seems like Team 1 have come into train with a bit of a game plan, Jay. A bit more positive in comparison to the first map of Inferno. And for EG, not even enough money for a glass cannon AWP for Cirque, so it's just going to be M4s. Keep an eye on the lack of utility in kits, whether they even decide to buy into a kit, Jay. An extra $400. You've got to think that maybe at least one kit can come out for Breezy. No kits. So for EG, if they get into retaking positions, that's something that's going to be on the top of their minds.
Nades on, path in, taking the early damage. He tried to charge out here, the other position out towards Sandwich, going to lead the charge in for his teammate. He's had a little bomb back there towards the spawn. Tarek and Ko will hold off against him initially. 2-for-1 trades. Maluki, we got Orphic. Maybe it's Michael for the one towards the B-side, but Mobs is still fragging towards Old Hell. 3-on-3. As one player at Ivy will nade back that corner right there. Him on the bomb site, and Breezy will shut him down at last. 2 standing, 2v2. Pesadello gets traded to 1. Maluki now, only player standing. Bomb dropped in the open as well. And the AWP was so much work to do. Team 1 with a rush call straight out of Ticon, and it works against their favor.
It's down to the clutch again. Maluki, 1 versus 2. He's got to try and recover that bomb, deal with the player towards the E-box, line that circle with the M4. Fifth round now up for EG. Now, for Team 1, they went for the rush play, but the majority of the damage was the spam through smokes. There were so many players low from Team 1 before they were able to clear out the side. We saw Malms pushing through the connector smoke, trying to get into that hell position, ends up getting to heaven. He pulls a bit of a distraction away, but his teammates just aren't able to trade out evenly, and EG are able to claim their fifth. The thing is, though, even with 2 players staying alive, Jay, it's still not a fantastic buy. Tarek's going to be on an SMG.
Alright, MP9 set in, flashes over, smokes go down, and they hold off on the ramp position. Stanislaw ready and waiting. PRT will take some damage. Cirque also taking damage here on the A site. Molotovs do come forward. PRT ready with the AWP, but Cirque peeks out first and wins the fight. Unable to find the early shots off. With his back turn, the SMG spray of Tarek gets away with the whole frag and nothing but the frag. Maluki does 2 frags back to 3 on 3 at least. Stanislaw here towards the B site, looking to get those sprays together. Mob will find him. Find Breezy, leaving Sarg alone in connected. A bomb cam makes way to the B site. Now he's been seen though. Be a pop out back towards the T-con position. He could drop through Pop Dog now and go for the easy plant, but he's going to back up Malbs here on the B play. Sarg still thinks it might be A. Smokes go down though, and the plant will be secured.
Well, 1 versus 2 for Cirque, and it does look as if he wants to go for it, Jay. Money is very, very low on this CT side, but he wants to see if he can make this clutch possible. Player out towards default in the back of the red train, doesn't hit the shot, gives the information up. Now, Malbs has got the opportunity to aggress, and as soon as Cirque gives away his position, he's out of there, saving onto that AWP, trying to go back into the Ivy position. Team 1... 9 rounds up on their T side, and Malbs did so much work to bring that round back, Jay. There were 2 defenders taking some very long-range angles on the B side, and Malbs was able to open up the site and allow his teammate Maluki to come in. Wow.
And a big frag for Malbs close it out. Yeah, 3 kills, AWP dropped out of dodge. And a 9-5 scoreline for Team 1 going into the last round of the half. Evil Genius is approaching their halftime break, but with a bit of a buyback, a forced investment to try to get something back for the CT side. Team 1 of the AWPs and the AKs in play. Full set utility across the board. 2 scouts out for EG, though. This must be a 10th here from T side.
You'd have to think so, right? The weaponry advantage is huge to come out from the Team 1 side, but it is the scout of the headshot of Cirque to be able to find the opening kill, and that's Maluki falling with the AWP. It seems like Pesadello, he was looking to pick it up. He can try and chuck it over the fence. Doesn't really want to give that AWP up to the CT side, but he wants to hold on to it for the meanwhile.
Smoke down, flash over, players sat in, good kill for Tarek, gets Pesadello to fall 5v3, that's a good start for the CT side. If they can get that rifle, that's a big turnaround. PRT is going to try and stop it, but still they grab that AWP. And 2 frags to work with. EG have brought it back on this course by Deagle next in for Tarek. AWP got a face against them, no scope does not land, Mobs gets away with the kill. Ethan back behind Red is going to wait for any more. The Team 1 start focusing up to the B site. Stanislaw and Cirque are ready to receive it. 50 seconds to the clock. The entry just got to be good enough. The scout in play to only land the tags unless Cirque gets those headshots. And here come the flashes overseeing 1. Good tag on Mobs. Now Stanislaw ready with the Eagle set in. Gets that 1 kill. Drops that bomb. Gets that 2nd kill as he spams his way on Mobs. Now it's all left to Barton. AK held towards upper. 1 frag found. Gotta look towards top of white and 25 seconds to recover the situation. He's got no time left.
It looks like the force buy is going to come through for EG. Barton needs to be able to try and isolate some of these one-on-one duels, but Stanislaw to find 3. We're going to go to a quick break. Don't go anywhere.
I might be tired at the stones they throw. Picking up scars and I hold them close. They shut me down, but I got this fight. Shine a light on me when my heart goes dark. Yeah, 'cause I never lose faith now.
I'm so sorry that I wasn't really there for me. Cause nobody else is showing any empathy. Rudely awake and quiet undertaking. Did I do something wrong? Life isn't easy. Why did you leave me here with my thoughts alone? I don't wanna wake up messed up, cause I can't spend another day like this. Another type of caked up breakup, where I've been finding any way to my
Team 1 leading 9-6 here, going into their team side with an opportunity here to claim a second map to stay alive in this series. 3 rounds is the difference. And Evil Geniuses go towards their T, so this is where they had the best of starts over on Inferno, but here with the CT-based map, Team 1, a really good CT basis to work with. They do lose the opening kill. Ethan against Pesadelo, Sim to open things up. Barton going to try overextend as well. Catch a track, but doesn't see any of them. P250 into Breezy, keeps his eyes on that back line, and will not be able to catch them. They go downstairs in the walls, popped up and try focus on A.
A double six towards the bomb train itself. Team 1 tried a little bit of over-aggression of Pesadelo towards Brown Halls, doesn't work out, and now EG put their fight towards this outer bomb site. Ethan going to be able to find his second kill of the round. Tarek in the back line's trying to get a kill towards Ivy, and now Maluki and Barton are the last couple left. They even got an Ivy lurk for this T side. This is all falling apart for the CTs. They haven't even been able to find a single kill yet, Jay. Finally one comes through for Barton, but EG just stormed their way to the A bomb site, and it just seems too easy.
Well, that's definitely not the pistol that Team 1 wanted. Evil Geniuses, monster frags coming through, and easy is that right there. With Ethan coming alive as well. That's a very concerning little sign. Him and Breezy had a bit of a fair moment in that last map up, especially in Breezy's case, where we got the 30 bomb. Search for the standout fragger here for the Evil Geniuses camp, and money to put those frags to good effect when it helps come back out here for the T side. We'll need them to frag out. For now, against Team 1, they're up against the Force by Deagles in a scout set. Head Kevlar for several players. It won't matter against the AKs that they've got coming in. They're taking first place. Circuit, Tarek, simple couple of kills. Now one player seals the bomb train. Cirque will deal with him. BRT and Barton, last 2 players left. One plant on default. I've got a couple of players which are particularly low here for the T side, but you're not expecting them to be able to get the frags per se. Barton will catch Cirque at least, so some damage has been done.
Thing is, Team 1 will know that they've actually got a few players down low. EG have even got 2 players to T-spawn. I'm expecting that they think that Team 1 are just going to go in for the save. They kind of need to get back to the bomb site though, Jay, because Team 1 have been able to now find a couple of kills. They are starting to close in onto the side, but there isn't a kit to work with between them.
Barton left alone. Scout set out. So the Ivy control, the 8th will go to the board of Evil Geniuses, now within 1 of Team 1's lead, and without really much of a chance to grab themselves the force back. Not much saved in either. They tried to grab one of those AKs, but not to be.
Yeah, he was so close to getting it. Unfortunately for Barton, needed to make sure that he was going a little bit ahead of himself. Maybe start to make a bit of movement before that bomb went off, but he wanted to make sure that he was staying alive. It is what it is, and for EG, they've now brought the deficit of just 1 round. Team 1 looking to try and see if they can go quickly into Hot Dog Pesadelo, but the Zeus is going to be able to strike onto Tarek and find that opening kill.
That's a start that should not have been expected, I don't think, by the T side. At least they get that much going for them. Stan and Sut coming up with 2 more frags. Pesadelo and Barton now get that one frag. Pesadelo will fall very quickly to Ethan, spraying around the corner with Sut getting that last frag out. They do lose a couple AKs though, so again, damage being done by the CT forces with those pistols in Pesadelo in particular with that frag on Tarek.
And one player on this EG side that we spoke about a lot, Jay, in the pregame to this map was what can Breezy do? Now, we're just going onto the T side. He's been pretty average, to say the least, on train in comparison to what he was able to perform at an Inferno. You've got to think that now in these gun rounds on the T side, this is really his opportunity to show us what he's got. Double orbs coming out for the CTs, Maluki and Barton picking it up. But for EG, they're going quickly into the brown halls, but for Team 1, they can actually bring 3 players over to B. This is a good read for the CTs.
Spraying through, taps up, flashes through, catching blind enough to fall off. No, he doesn't get away in time. PRT comes up with that frag, but the bomb plant can be secured. T-side players are very awkward. Into is the final only one. Esadelo gets the trade. Morbs on 16 points of health, though, really wary of his position. One of the orbs facing in towards upper, another one coming in. Towards white, they frag with one frag traded back by Pest, and now Stanislaw left alone with a Galil in play. Nade to bounce off the door and get towards the site. If that was a Molotov, that may have worked well for them. They've only got that one smoke next in. Now going down here, Stanislaw puts that nade on, going to try and wrap around, way around towards the ramp position, but needs to get that frag relatively quickly. And Maluki's going marked off, so that will be a kill against them. Team 1 will just be able to defend the lead.
I was biting my lip there a little bit, Jay. Team 1, look, they make it work, but there was no kit on the CT side, so they needed to make sure that someone was getting on that bomb very, very quickly. And Stanislaw trying to swing out from ramp, but had to try and deal with the player towards a connector position first. And Team 1, look, a good read from them. They rotate players into that B bomb site incredibly quickly. The utility's great. We saw Ethan towards rafters in heaven was so blind. He tried to jump down into the side, wasn't able to do so. Double orbs finding their impacts. Heavy nades in towards T-Con to start off, but for Team 1, nothing really aggressive from them yet.
They come up with a start here in this next round. Breezy will trade Molds back, at least catching him for a minimal amount of aggression towards the edge of Olof. Frag found easy, 4v4. Stanislaw taking damage. Breezy's been heavily tanked. Ethan will force the pace of Dalo. Tarek trades him out of Pop Dog. Does not see the player to the back, a stopper. Keeps his eyes held, watching for anything, sees one player now, connector pop out from the edge of the train. Good Molotov place there will drive him back, but the nade from Barton will take him down regardless. So Team 1 in a 3-on-2 now. Bob can get picked up by EG, can get pushed into the B side.
Yeah, Tarek was in a bit of a one-and-done position there, Jay, in that E-box line, because he had no support from his teammates, so if he was able to just get one kill and get traded, it would have been decent for EG, but he doesn't find anything, and now they're going to go for the heaven plate. And Breezy picking up the AWP, spotting the player towards the back of red, incredibly low, dropping down into the side, trying to force Barton further and further back. The bomb's going to get down. It's now a post plant for EG.
AWP watching. Footbound, 2 kills, back to control for EG. PRT suddenly left alone here towards the connector area. Seems that gone to the edge, but the M4 needs to do the retake, and he's watching straight into the crossfire of Breezy. 3 frags found for the orb. Simultaneous kills coming in for EG, and that turns us back 10 apiece, squared up against Team 1. And no big buy coming out from the CT side. They're going to have to half Cecil Eco here.
Take a bit of a note there in how EG played that post plant, Jay. They're in a man disadvantage. They're in a 2-on-3 now. You can just try and play it passive, try and play the clock. Instead, EG look to try and take the fight. Stanislaw's trying to play aggressive. Breezy's holding the connector line with that AWP. They're looking to try and take fights, get that advantage. Bang! The ball back from Cirque is so damn close to connecting. But it is going to be the Deagle and PRT to find the opener fast into the A-bomb site for EG.
And the kill back found. Tarek against PRT, Maluki and Barton. 2 players standing as they make their way up. Molotov's in, will start to move closer and closer still. Backstab from Maluki could have done something here if he had a decent weapon or a player close towards him, but no real frags will be found at the end of the day. Maluki can't do anything, neither can Barton. Held towards the CT spawn. And this will be 11th for Evil Geniuses, bringing this back against Team 1 on their own map pick. That's not an encouraging sign. Inferno you could have written off, but this was the map where Team 1 needed to contest to hold anything here in this series.
Yeah, that's the thing, Jay. And looking for extra kills from Maluki, not even going to happen. For Team 1J, look, I think that they played a really excellent first half. I think their T side was looking very deadly. It was looking very on cue, very on point. But so far in the second half, they've managed to get one round. They do at least try and keep the economy relatively low by 2 players getting taken out, and Stanislaw with the bomb towards the end there. Reinvesting into the double orbs. Now, Team 1 have gone for this a couple of times so far, Jay, on the CT side, but it's a very heavy investment, and it means, you look at the money on the reserve, they lose this, they're going to have nothing to follow, even on max round loss bonus.
Yeah, Orps in, doubles up from the Maluki and Barton had quite effect with this in the last round. They had it out for Team 1, but Cirque is looking to already respond with an Orb of his own, set in and ready. Nays to do no damage, but the smoke screen, they can try and do something with. PRT swings out at the edge of the smoke though. The Trace is seen by Cirque and he catches him to open things up. Stanislaw enters, gets himself 2 frags, as Pesadelo swings out from top of shut down Tarek on the Barton, leaving Mod standing alone towards Old Hell, catches 1, but catches no more. 2k for Tarek, 2k for Stan, 12 for the board of EG.
Oh my goodness, that was ridiculous coming out from Stanislaw. We see the AWP of Cirque being boosted up in T-Con, finds the opening pick through the smoke of PRT, and then Stanislaw gets a massive turnaround secondary kill onto the Pop Dog player, and from there they just overwhelm the site. The kills come in so damn quickly. And look, for an Inferno, Team 1 really, I don't even remember them making a single tactical pause, Jay. I think really need to take one going into train. We haven't seen a lot of tactics from either team in this so far, but in a mission like this, things are getting out of hand, and EG has got a lot of pressure on.
Shots on from Cirque through hoping to catch a raw bang. Face out from Breezy, gets 2. Cirque gets PRT. Breezy makes it a triple, and now he live. His anti-eco pistols, but regardless, to walk straight out of the T-Con area and get himself 3, that's mad. 13-10 now. Evil Geniuses are on a roll, and Team 1 are struggling to stop it. Another double AWP investment, but they need to get something out now. They'll have nothing for round 25, and that could lead EG up to map and match point here.
I think we need to see some aggression coming out from Team 1J, whether they bring an AWP to Ivy or maybe into the Brown Halls to go for an opening pick. It seems like EG aren't pressured enough in the early round to force a mistake to come out. And you even look at Barton playing at the beat bop side. Look how passive he is with that secondary AWP, Jay.
Oh, suck. Imagine if he got that. That would have been beautiful. 2 nades on Maluki's position, holding close range to the edge of that cross, and attack 27 as a result. So it's not quite flags, it's close enough. Ethan pops out against Pesadelo, loses a lot of HP, but comes up with the kill to return. So again, Team 1 forced to a back foot in the early part of round 24.
Look at the util on this CT side, Jay. They've got, what, 3 flashbangs and a smoke. They're going to have hardly any utility to slow down the execution when it finally comes through. Now, Malms was able to get a bit of information in through T-Con. Doesn't see anything. Now looking into the Pop Dog line, but there's only 1 player at the B bomb site, and no one's really in rotating positions on this CT side. Barton's going to be alone.
Sprays up, good kill from 1. 6 HP for Barton though. Tarek's got an easy frag. Oh, he's gonna go for knife. No, Breezy shuts him down, but he's allowed to sneak so far towards the CT squad. They've got no idea if they've had that spray easy to do with PRT as Maluki falls to Ethan's direct forward face. Miles left alone now, gets 1 kill, but looking to get no more. He's out of dodge to save the M4 because it's 14 to the board of Evil Geniuses.
And even just plays like that, they get away with it. Tarek's able to push oil. Breezy does a fantastic job of at least taking that AWP down. So Tarek's position doesn't have to be known. And pushes further into the back lines. And Team 1 have just got absolutely no idea that could be possible. EG. I just can't believe it's the T side where they're fighting the majority of these rounds. Oh, even Malbs can't stay alive. 14-10. Team 1J. They got 9 rounds in the first half. It's only been 1 on the CT side, and they've invested into double AWPs like 3 times now.
And Team 1 just not showing up what we expected of the CT side. Needed to have some massive impact. The Deagles in, the flashes and the HEs, the scout out for PRT. The AWP shots not connecting this time, but Cirque doesn't get dinked down and forced out. Still firing away. Almost gets to that one player over the connector. Breeze comes up with one traded back by PRT. Flicks back from Cirque. Going to continue firing out. Going to have to be the bomb bearer. Push into whatever site EG want to go for. 4-on-4. They can still continue to pick them apart.
Ethan's trying to make a bit of a play to heaven. He's put a lurk smoke down, so there's a chance of maybe he can either try and sell a bit of a B fake or see if he can catch off a relatively open bomb site. And Tarek gets popped off. He's onto Malbs. He's got a secondary player there. Cirque is going to be able to back him up. Nice crossfires being set from Evil Geniuses. And now Barton, the B player, starting to rotate in. Does pull one kill onto with the Deagle. Needs to follow up with more, and he does, Jay. Cirque and Stanislaw, the last two alive. Oh my goodness. I thought for a moment there that Barton was going to be able to do a hell of a lot.
Map and match point for Evil Geniuses. Barton could have put a stop to that there with a Deagle play, but unfortunately, he needed to win the round. Damage is not going to be enough. Again, there's so much money for EG in this one. AK set in the AWP of Cirque. Still 15k for Cirque, by the way. 10k for Ethan. The lowest player is Breezy at 2,000, but next player up is 7k on Stanislaw. So money's not a problem for EG. It is for Team 1, though. The third double orb setup coming out of this map up. So viable on Train, but showing so little of its potential here for the CT side of Team 1. Maluki will take first face out of Brownhalls, try and take the first contact and the first kill, but unable to land it. Flashed out of the ramp control. He's going to get forced to fall even further back.
And they've brought both of the AWPs on the CT side over to B, both having chances of trying to go for some opening picks. Maluki now smoked down, trying to go for a bit of a pre-fire. EG, are they still going to try and commit to B, even when knowing there's two AWPers here?
I guess they will. Shots ringing out. Barton catches Cirque. Breezy gets Barton to return. Maluki looking for his hunt here as Pesadelo gets Breezy top of the oil train. PRT gets Stanislaw next. Ethan presses forward. Tarek also the same. Bomb's been dropped at the default plant position, but they've got it to a 2-on-2. They can win this off kills alone. Pesadelo can stop it, and indeed he does. Now it's left to Ethan. 1-on-2. Backstab coming in from Mobs. Shuts it down to keep Team 1 alive in this map and this series.
Oh my goodness, and just, I've got to think, stop investing into the double AWPs. We saw so many missed shots coming out from especially the AWP of Maluki. It does really scare me that they have just not found the impact with the double AWP straight. EG try to push in connector, 1 HP onto Pesadelo, and 11 rounds, a survival round now for Team 1. EG, 1 round away from being able to get third place in IEM New York. The Team 1 are going to go down without a fight, and Pesadelo finds the opening kill.
That's an AK for it. Cirque having a swing out through the wallbang. Damage will get close to the kill, but not quite make it happen. Pops in, gets that frag. Ethan and Stanislaw also going to follow suit. And Team 1 lose control of the advantage they gain on the opening frag. Barton and Molbs left towards the A site. Shots from the AWP. We've seen one. Cirque got one player facing him. That's a headshot that leaves Barton alone. And Cirque challenges him. The AWP challenges him. Crossfire locked. If he faces forward, he's a dead man. If he stays fast, he's also a goner. 16-11 as Ethan will close it out. And EG will 2-0 the Team 1 side. I guess we vastly overestimated how important that train would be for them. I honestly thought they would take that map at the least, but no. Evil Genius is firing away on both T sides, and it was the T sides that got them so far.
Yeah, look, it absolutely did, and I don't want to take too much away from EG. I think they played really well in this series. We saw a very well-drilled T-side on Inferno. Their T-side was excellent, again, going into Train. But you've got to think for Team 1, on your own map pick, and you are able to get a 9-6 half on T going into CT, they should have been able to do so much more. We saw the double orbs being invested time and time and time again, and they just couldn't find the success. They were being pressured very, very often around that T-Cod and Brown Hall's position. And look, for EG, they're able to claim, what, $5,000? They're able to get the 2,188 points for the RMR. That's going to place them in that top 3 position, giving them the legend status. They're also going to come away with 155 points in the ESL Pro Tour. So for EG, they can be very happy with their performance getting third in IEM New York.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, as I mentioned before, this is the difference between them defending their second place position and potentially losing it out to several teams. Of course, getting knocked down.
Yep.
Obviously they've got they've got Furia hot on their heels at the moment with a current matchup going up against the 100 Thieves. There's a good chance they can overtake them. So Evil Geniuses have given themselves the best chance possible to try and avoid that reality over from the Furia side. So opportunities definitely abound here on the part of EG, and for Team One, they can also be happy with their top three, as I mentioned in the pregame. This is their best. It's been one of their best performances in RMR so far. And again, we had them pinned to go out in that bottom three position of the group stage. The fact that they went so far and to even take a fight against a team against Evil Geniuses here in this matchup, they had a very good performance of their own right today.
No, look, they absolutely did. I think one thing to take away where a lot of teams have struggled in RMR is obviously roster changes, right? Losing percentages when having a roster move. Team One haven't had that at all, so they haven't had any points deducted. We saw them in CS Summit getting a 10th place, not fantastic. They're not being able to advance into the playoffs, but having a pretty deep run going into IEM New York. So I think they can be really happy with their campaign over the last couple of months. Obviously, those points are very important for them, getting sort of that 5th position to qualify as a contender. But for Team One, I'm certainly going to be keeping an eye out for them, Jay, and sort of see, can they move beyond that MDL level? Because, of course, a lot of teams competing in MDL want to move into Pro League, want to keep moving up the ranks. This seems to be a team that's certainly on my radar.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, even talking about the radar itself in terms of the RR points, Team One with those 2,000 extra, they're actually going to put themselves just past the likes of Team Liquid, obviously. So, they were only, a few hundred points difference now between the two teams, but Team One are ahead of them. Just by a little bit, I believe. Because Liquid's...
Liquid are on like 5,000. So yeah, Liquid are about 5,000. So for Team One, even with their placing here, they're nowhere near being able to get to that 4th position. Do you want to try and correct me, Jay?
Are you sure?
I'm definite, mate.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that this Wikipedia page says that they can gain some points. I mean, all right, fair play. Fair play. If that's what you're going to say, then all right, I'll leave it to you. At the end of the day, for Team One, though, it is a good set of points that will get them over to the top end of the position in that top 5 as well. So they are currently in major contention, pushing Cloud9 out of the running at this stage. So for them, obviously, that is the old Cloud9 side, the side that we're going to stay together and try and see if they can compete for the major itself. But, for Team One, putting themselves in that top 5 position, a few more appearances and a few more RMR events, it could get them even higher for when that major does happen.
No, look, it absolutely can. And there's a couple of ways of looking at it. Obviously, we saw a lot of teams dropping out going into IEM New York, which did allow some of the teams towards sort of the bottom end to get your points. Your New England Whalers put up some decent points. Triumph, Chaos, all starting to rise up the rankings. But it was Team One with their really deep run, at least into the playoffs, that have allowed them to get into that top 5 position. So, look, I suppose that's it, for us, right? But there is still a grand final going ahead, Jay.
Indeed, there is, over on that mainstream, to see who's going to be contesting for the IEM Global Challenge spot, as well as the top end points here in the RMR event. We've got Furia taking on 100 Thieves, 11-9 right now on map 2. 100 Thieves took map 1. They're playing out on Inferno at this point in time. So your boys are still gunning for it, Dweg. They've inched themselves a little bit closer for their opportunity, mate.
Yeah, see, I've got to make a tough decision here. Do I want to go on to, going on the stream and maybe going back and starting it from the beginning of the grand final, or do I want to jump in now? I'm not too sure, because I know Gratisfaction had a pretty big first half for the 100 Thieves in that first map, so it looks like it's going to be an absolute banger on the mainstream, Jay.
I mean, well, that's well and truly underway. I'd imagine that there would be a hell of a set of good maps here for 100 Thieves, especially. Obviously, we talked about them in previous days having a fire lit under them and not being part of this organization after the event is over. So, for them, they're playing to try and see if they can get their best stock going forward into the rest of the scene. So, for them, a good victory here with a land spot up to the grabs as well. That's prime real estate. That's free real estate for any team in the organization looking to pick up a CS team.
Yeah, look, and, rumors aside, for 100 Thieves, they're saying it's the last dance. The players are trying to put everything in it. And, look, for 100 Thieves, it's going to mean so much for them as well. Leaving this organization, having the last chance to be able to put up a good performance. And already being a 1 map up in the grand final, it is a best of 5. So if you do want to check it out, you can check out twitch.tv/ESL_CSGO. I'll be heading straight there, Jay, as soon as we close it out. No doubt about it.
Of course, the Aussie is going to tune in for the 100 Thieves matchup. I'll leave you to it in that case, Dwayne. And we'll leave you all to go ahead and tune into that matchup, of course, over on the main stream. For us on the B stream, that's been it from us here at IEM New York. The event closes out tonight, so make sure you're getting involved in those grand finals. But until the next one, I've been the Eternal J. This has been Dwayne, my co-commentator, and on behalf of all the production staff here at the B stream, I want to thank you very much for watching and for listening. We'll see you back here very soon for even more action here on ESL TV.
My name is Trace Saranthus. I am building a PC for Jordan Gilbert.
My goal was really to get something that was no compromise, super powerful, and ideally not built by Trace.
Yes, thank you so much, Jordan Gilbert. You know, we don't make mistakes around here. We made happy accidents.
I get a booster seat here. Enter now for a chance to win one of 3 PCs built by me, Jason, or Trace.
You ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Just can't hold you back if you own it. Live your life like you're chosen, no matter what. I won't let up. It's in my soul, it's in my blood, and I won't take no for an answer. If it don't hurt me, it makes me stronger. Yeah, what I won't let up. It's in my soul, it's in my blood, and I won't take it no more. If I won't, oh, baby, just leave it to me. I know.
Been a while, yeah. Safe to say over a year. Still it feels like I saw you every day. Tired of hanging around the ones that always need an explanation. I don't need to every day. Explain myself, don't hold it against me if I'm somewhere else. Put all the masks that I had on the shelf. Wish I could stay, but it's bad for my head. Something's coming. I wanna be everything I thought that I could never be. Build me up, piece by to.